Uh-oh. Hey now. Okay, I had to get that going. It is late at night. I'm about to make a little trade recap, talk to myself and my future self, and just wanted to go over the point of where I'm at with my trading. And yeah, I took a loss today. As you can tell, I'm in a good mood though. Not great that I took a loss, but I know what happened in the market. I understood what was going on, and only thing I can do is refine that. Um, Got a candle going up there. Ooh, old fashioned smell. Smells like fall. Smells like fall. We're getting into a great time of the year. Quarter four is coming. Everything's going to be incredible. At least you assume. You hope. Fingers crossed. But yeah, quarter four is coming. Fall's coming. The best time of the fucking year. Colors, everything. The cold, nice, cold, a little warm. It's pretty warm right now though. But yeah, we got a little trade recap coming from today. And I wanted to also talk to myself a little. Trade recap's gonna be pretty quick because I took a trade pretty quick into the day. And I'm just gonna run over on exactly what I did wrong with that. Let's get the window capture on. Beautiful. So let's log into my paper trading so I can do the replay testing. Go to market replay, and we're going to go to 8:30 a.m. Okay, it's just going to allow me to do the NASDAQ. So we're going to just do this. I'm going to select the bar because I did take the trade on ES, but I'm going to show you what NASDAQ did coming into the day. So coming into the day, we can turn on our draws on liquidity. Do this one more bar back before market opened. We'll just do 820. Coming into the day, what do we have? Let me turn my camera off. Let's just get right into this. Coming into the day, what do we see in the market? We were coming in on this. We had a 4-hour imbalance we were rejecting out of, and we had a 1-hour imbalance on top of that. I believe the 1 hour was on ES, or this was the 1 hour, imbalance that was right between here. So what I wanted to see was either market open. I'm bullish on the day. I'm bullish. We can look at what we had. Let's go to the calendar. Today we had, we'll make out my eyes. We had a bunch of yellow folder FOMC member Jefferson Speaks, MPC, that's GBP. We had FOMC member Collins Speaks. Those we don't really worry about, but what we did have was this 9 a.m. CB Consumer Confidence and red folder 9 a.m. JOLTS job openings. And then at 10 we had Trump speaking. Now normally for me, I will not trade it when Trump is speaking, right? But Trump did speak till 10, so I was like, okay, maybe I can get a setup between 8:30 and 9:30. Well, I did. We're going to go into what happened with that. So as you can see, we have my Asian session highs marked out. Asian session lows were already taken out. We have London session highs, which already got taken out by New York pre-market. And then we have London session lows that have not been taken out. So ideally, I want to see Asian session highs get swept, and maybe we can get a continuation to go higher. Or Asian session highs get swept, maybe get a reversal to go to London session, right? That's just my potential draws. Or potentially a London session gets swept, and we go for Asian session highs, right? We're going to go right into the market open. Oh, well, that went pretty freaking quick. We could slow that down. I mean, goodness. What do we see right off the bat? By the way, you see this little blue box I have right here? That is a 15-minute imbalance. Note that, 15-minute bullish imbalance. Right off the bat, NASDAQ goes and sweeps out these lows. We're on ES. If we go to ES, I can go back. ES, this is around the same time, did not sweep out these lows. There was a low here, there's a low here, and there's a low here. ES did not sweep out these lows, which gave me in SMT, right? So I ended up entering in on ES. And you can see how that went. I got stopped. We ended up getting a 5-minute SMT, so we'll just even mark that out. We'll just mark it down from here up to here. We had a 5-minute SMT. I'm going on the 1 minute. I'm waiting for a 1 minute break of structure, which is right up around here. I entered in on ES, and I entered in on S&P because it was the lead pair. We get that break of structure right here. I put my stops down here, and I'm targeting those Asian session highs. Well, either highs up here for a 1 to 4. We can go all the way to the highs up here, or all the way to Asian session high draws, which is this. As you can see, once I entered in on this trade, I got absolutely cooked. Goes a little my take profit immediately. And honestly, looking at that, maybe I could have taken draws out at that 1 to 1. Immediately comes down, stops me out, right? So that's something we can look at. Well, why did it stop me out? I entered in on the trade. We ended up getting a 1 hour sweep on NASDAQ. Like I said, NASDAQ swept out those lows. ES did not, which gave us a 5-minute SMT divergence. We got a 1 minute breaker structure, so I entered in. And my draws were these Asian session highs, right? Well, what do we have that pushed us lower? We had a 5-minute bearish SMT. Now, I did note this, and I still had strong conviction in this trade because the SP had this 5-minute bearish fair value gap, right? 5-minute bearish imbalance. I might have said in SMT, I don't recall just a second ago. But we had this 4-hour gap and 1 hour gap that I thought was going to maybe overpower this, tied in with that 5-minute SMT and a 1 minute break. As you can see, we come into this gap, which on top of that, maybe we could see what else we came into. We can go from this high down to this low. We came in equilibrium as well. Came into it, immediately rejected out of it. I got cooked. Absolutely cooked. And what do you see then too is on the 15-minute. Like I said, we came in that 5-minute and then we immediately rejected out of it, pushed lower. And what did we come into? Is this 15-minute gap. Which at first when I noticed this too, before I ended up entering in, which is right around this area on ES, right? This is on NASDAQ. We didn't tap into that 15-minute. Well, what does price do after it taps into this 5-minute and respects it? It immediately comes back down into that 15-minute and it shows rejection off of it. I was like, shit. And then it stopped me out at that point, right? And what do we see get hit? We can turn on like I said, I have my draws from up here. My Asian session draws end up getting hit, which are these draws up here. So my drawn liquidity was correct. I had the right drawn liquidity. It's just my trade didn't play out because of this 5-minute imbalance getting respected. And we came down and wanted to fill in this 15-minute, which, as you can tell, happened. And we immediately showed rejection out of it, which then pushed us higher and all the way back up to the Asian session high. Now, the issue with today is, you look at this. This looks like chop. This looks like shit. I put this onto my line chart. And it kind of looks like a heartbeat monitor. Boom, 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 boom. Right? You want to avoid these type of markets. These type of markets are not clean. These are not great markets. And what my buddy explained to me was, because I opened up, after I took the trade, I opened up his text and him saying, yeah, I won't be trading tomorrow because of the news. I was like, well, what the fuck? I'm like, well, I'm in. I started laughing. I'm like, well, shit. And it stopped me out. The issue is, yes, we had good news in the morning. We had the 9 a.m. red folder news, and then Trump didn't speak till 10, right? Well, what my buddy explained to me is usually when Jerome Powell speaks later in the day or when Trump is speaking later in the day, the market is going to want to consolidate before that news release comes out to then go make its move. And Trump started speaking at 10, right? What do we do? As soon as this is the candle at 10 o'clock right here, that's the move that sweeps out liquidity, and we get the reaction off of it. And you can see what the market does the rest of the day, it just consolidates. So it wasn't a great trading day. We can go in tomorrow and what the market's potentially going to give us into tomorrow, starting October 1st. We have PMI, red folder and orange folder. Ward's total vehicle sales, that's yellow folder. So tomorrow I'm assuming price is going to give us some good price action. We do have ADP non-farm employment change at 7:15, so that will give us some pre-markets movement volatility. Hopefully it's not too big of a movement. Hopefully it doesn't sweep out my draws and liquidity. And at 9 a.m. hopefully we can get a trade after 9. I will not be trading from 8:30 to 9. Ideally, I will not. Hope so. We'll probably be trading after 9. But going into today, that's exactly why I lost that setup. Was because of why I shouldn't even trade it today was because Trump was speaking. And normally, to go into hindsight from that, now what I realize is I will not be trading when Trump is speaking. Just Powell, and that's the same with Powell. Like I don't trade when Powell speaks until like way later in the day, maybe. But I'm an AM session, New York AM session guy. Like my New York AM session. I don't trade London. I'm not up by London. I'm sleeping during London from 2:30 all the way to 5, 6. In Asian session, it's just not a lot of volatility. Um, and you can see that here. Asian session is just consistently moving up. Maybe you can get a continuation. London session does have some good volatility, but then New York opens up, sweeps, big move up, sweeps, big move down. That's crazy. That was a crazy fucking day on Monday, right? And that was a no news Monday. I believe we ended up getting an SMT, which made us move. I did not trade that day. Um, so that's just something I wanted to mark up and note. We can get out of this now, but that's exactly like I said. That's why I lost today was because what did market do? Well, I lost because market ended up after it gave me that SMT and ES. Nasdaq decided to come into this 5 minute. ES, by the way, did not have when I entered in on that, and you can see the trade was right there. It went up. It went up. And then it came out and stopped me out. And then now it's moved up higher and it's made its move, right? The PM session move apparently is fucking crazy. That's ridiculous. We swept out lows right here. Immediately got a 5 minute break, 5 minute retrace. I bet there was a PM session trade you could have taken. Hold on. What do we see? We see the liquidity sweep right there. We see the 5 minute break. We get a 5 minute bullish imbalance and then a 5 minute retracement. I bet you get a setup right here. I'm going to mark this up. Your bullish break of structure, 5 minute bullish break of structure right there after we ended up sweeping out lows right here. And we ended up getting a 5 minute imbalance. We retrace into that. We're going to go to the 1 minute. I mean, oh my gosh. What do you fucking know? Let's mark this puppy out. We retrace into that. We're going to do a select bar replay. We're going to look for when we start coming into that candle. We're going to go into a 1 second. And we're going to wait to see if we can get a break of structure. What do you know? Let's mark this out. Long position, you get the 5 minute break of structure. You put your stops at the low. Where could we be targeting? We can target out all the way up to this high. We can target all the way up to this high. That's a 1 to 4. Let's let that play out. We'll do the 3 seconds. What does it do? Boom. I mean, that shit ran. For what is my question? Does it keep running? Insane. PM session was apparently insane. I mean, wow. Just keep making higher highs. Keeps making higher highs. Keeps making higher highs. It's a 1 to 10. That is... Oh, no, it keeps going. I mean, wow. What is that? We can pause it now. That would have ran for a 12 RR. He doesn't. You don't know how the markets move. You can't figure that out. You can't possibly predict how the markets move. That's literally my setup in the PM session. We ended up getting a sweep, which I can just mark that up. We have the low right there. We end up, which is sell side liquidity. We sweep sell side because we came back up, seek and destroy. Price right here comes back up, sweeps out highs right here. New York session highs. We get a reaction off of it. We come down and sweep out these lows. What do we see then? We see a 5 minute break of structure, a 5 minute imbalance, a retrace into that 5 minute imbalance. I mean, and potentially even equilibrium. We could take it from this 5 minute low to this 5 minute high, and we came into 5 minute equilibrium. We get 1 minute break of structure out of it. Insane. I mean, that literally is ridiculous. You risk $100 on that, you already know the fucking P&L. I mean, it depends on what you scale off with contracts. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I'm gonna get out of this. Wow, and just the movement is insane because now we're coming into Asian session, as you can tell. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know, I wasn't even looking at the market. I didn't even see that. We're going to get rid of all this. We're going to go back to this, have both of these set up. I'm just going to start marking up some stuff going into tomorrow. It's only 8:37, so I usually like to mark up some of my draws, like just the 4 hour, not the 1 hours, but the 4 hour draws before I go to sleep, and then go in when I wake up. I see if those 4 hour draws got tapped into 4 hour price arrays, and then I start marking up my 1 hours. So going into the day tomorrow, I need to get NQ popped up on here. We can get rid of all this, 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 and this. So coming in tomorrow, we have buy side liquidity, which is resting right up here, right? That's a 4 hour buy side liquidity. What else do we have? We have a 4 hour low, which is right here, sell side liquidity. I'm assuming this gets tapped into by the time I wake up. Who's texting me? A couple people, goodness. But we have sell side liquidity right there. We aren't marking up this imbalance because it was already filled. So if price wants to come back into it, it's probably just going to inverse it. I'd like to see Asian session and London session actually come in and sweep out down here, and then we can maybe potentially get a good setup. Because we're getting closer to all-time highs, which is up here, right? We're getting pretty close to that point. So I'd like to see us sweep sell side, come back down, and want to sweep sell side, inverse this imbalance right here, and want to come down to these lows. But who knows what we're going to get off of that. We can go to ES, we can go to the 4 hour. So I ended up getting the SMT today. We have a 1 hour resting right there. We can get rid of this buy side liquidity. We can get rid of this buy side liquidity. This 4 hour too. I don't doubt that we sweep sell side going into tomorrow. Maybe Asian session does this or London session does this, and we sweep sell side and we end up coming back into this 4 hour and inversing it. And we're back at all time highs, and my draw is still all time highs because if we look at the daily, what do we see in the daily? Like I said, we had I think it was on NASDAQ that had it. We had a daily imbalance that was resting right here last week, and that told me once we filled in that daily imbalance and showed rejection out of it, we'll probably want to go all the way back up to all-time highs. I was showing a coworker this, and I'm going to come in tomorrow, into work tomorrow, and show him the same fucking shit and be like, look exactly where we went, right? So my draws are most likely going to be bullish into tomorrow, but obviously we don't marry our bias. We're going to see what it wants to give us, but we can go into the 4 hour. I'm going to keep this imbalance up here just because, but we've played into it, filled it. Hopefully we completely filled it and didn't inverse it. I'd like to see a reaction off of that and want to go see sell side. I'm assuming London session is going to be doing that. And like I said, we have a 4 hour high, which is right up here, resting above. We put buy side liquidity, so we have this 4 hour high up here, which is at 9. We have this one, which is at 1. This one was at 5 a.m., 1 a.m., all the way up there. We're getting pretty close to all-time highs. And we did just sweep 4 hours, so I'm assuming the market's going to literally come down and come for the sell side liquidity. On the 1 hour, we have a 1 hour imbalance we're playing into. Maybe one wants to fill it to then push us up the buy side, or maybe we inverse this 1 hour imbalance. Then, like I said, come push us sell side. And we do have this 1 hour imbalance resting below that might want to go and fill before it pushes higher, is what I would like to see. We're going to mark out 2 sell side liquidity resting right there. We also have sell side liquidity resting right here. Down candle, up candle, or an uptrend. So we sell side resting right below here. I would like to see us come and tap into before we want to come all the way back up to before we want to come back up to all-time highs. And I'm not excited. I don't like trading all-time highs. I don't want to be fucking near them. I like to see price fucking sweep all-time highs and then crash lower. Although that's not good for our economy. It's nice to have trading ranges, but low-key the last 2 weeks of trading, we've been getting pretty solid price action in my opinion, at least for my strategy. But yeah, that's just going into that. Let's see on NASDAQ's 1 hour, do we have any imbalances resting below here? No imbalances in here, no imbalances. We do have a 1 hour resting right here, which I can mark out. a 1 hour imbalance, which, like I said, I'd like to see price when I come into sweep out sell side, come down to here. Do I think it's going to do that? I don't know. It's a very good question. And NASDAQ inverts its 1 hour while ES hasn't yet. So maybe, like I said, we want to come down into that sell side. And I'm just going to mark up our 1 hour highs that we have resting right above up here, which I'm assuming hopefully don't get hit. Hopefully they don't wake up tomorrow and we're already at all-time highs. That would fucking suck. But, and we also played into this 1 hour imbalance that we had resting right there, which I want to mark out. That's a 1 hour bearish imbalance. Bearish imbalance. 1 hour. And we're showing rejection. In no way don't think we want to go lower. You know, we'll see. But yeah, that's just going into the day for tomorrow. We got everything marked up for tomorrow, and hopefully we can see some beautiful fucking setups. Get the 4 hour. I'll just get the 4 hour opened up for tomorrow, and then this opened up for tomorrow. But yeah, show proof of what I did. I got cooked today. I got cooked. One thing I realized now too is a lot of these wins that you see, these are not 1-to-1s. This day, this $988 win was actually a 1-to-4. 1-to-4, 1-to-5. And I noticed something that I was fucking up is, let me get my thing back up. I can get rid of the window capture. Oh, there we go. That's better. Beautiful. So what I've realized is I'm at the point where I'm basically a break-even trader, and that's the last step. You hear a lot of traders talk about that. That's the last step you get to before you are profitable. It's already 9, damn it. It's the last step you get to before you are profitable. And the only thing you have to do to get past that point of break-even is just refining your psychology, refining your strategy. And for me, I'm very disciplined with my trading. I do not FOMO into trades, and if I do, it's very rare, and I catch it right after I do it, and I bitch at myself, and I never do it again for like 3, 4, 5 weeks. I try not to be greedy, and I'm pretty good at that. Like, obviously, no trader's perfect, but it's getting to the point where it's like, when I do FOMO into trades, it's very, very rare, right? And what I've been looking more and more into is why am I break even? You know, I've taken 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss, 4 losses, but I've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wins. The issue is this trade too, this $580. Guess what the RR was? That was an Asian session trade on Sunday night watching the Packer game going into Monday morning with my girlfriend over. And I normally never trade Asian session, but I was really, really bullish on the trade. And I just was barking out stuff. I'm like, yo, this looks like a beautiful setup. That's bad psychology. I shouldn't have done it. But that ran for a 1-to-10. I de-risked on it, but still. Understand this, and this is from my future self. When it comes to trading, I'm to the point where this is just a math game, and I have found my issue, and it's thankfully the easiest fucking fix. It's the easiest issue, the simplest, and the best issue a trader could probably have. Thankfully, it's not a psychology issue, and thankfully, it's not a strategy issue. You can see for where I put my take profit points and my stop losses, I can tell a story on why it's there. Meaning, I know why I'm putting in these places. I have strong conviction. When I'm entering a trade, I can tell a story on why I like this trade. Meaning, it's a good reason to take it, right? If you can't tell a story about why you're taking a trade, you really shouldn't fucking be in it. If you can't explain why you're in the trade, you should not be fucking taking it, right? I don't have those issues. Oh, my MacBook's almost going to die. So one thing I've realized is I have good take profit points. Let's say maybe my first take profit's at a 15-minute high. That's a good point to have. That's a good point to have your first partial, because price could reverse off of that 15-minute high, right, or 15-minute low. My issue is I've been entering enough of micros. Let's just say, so I enter in the trade $1,000 risk, 30 micros on the eval, right? When I do that, let's say my first take profit's at that 15-minute high for 1-to-1. I've been scaling off 10 contracts, 10 micros. So then my trade that I scaled off at a 1-to-1 and I'm letting ride for a 1-to-3. Instead of it being a $2,000, $2,500 win, it's $1,300. This day, that $988 fucking dollars. Oh, whoa! I didn't know you could do this. That's dope as fuck. I didn't know you could do this. I could journal exactly what I did. I can put a picture of what I did. Are you for real? I need to start doing that. I do like a numbered list. Alright, that's fucking dope. I didn't even know you could do that. So, what I've been doing wrong, let's say that day that I had the $988, I risked $1,000 and it hit for 1-to-4. My profit was $988. I was being dumbass and basically having a negative RR because at my first take profit point, I scaled off most of my contracts. Shouldn't do that. So from now on, so let's say tomorrow, if I catch a beautiful setup and my first take profit points at a 1-to-1 or 1-to-2, I'm going to scale off. Like let's say I'm in for 5 minis, $1,000 risk. I'm going to take off only one contract instead of 2 or 3. One contract, move stops to break even, let the rest ride. That's how it should be. And because that trade that hit for $988, or even this one when it hit for this, it was this day too. 3 take profit points got hit. 2 take profit points got hit. 3 got hit. 3 got hit. 5 got hit. 5 got hit on this day with $1,000 risk. What does that tell you? That tells you that I'm taking off too many contracts at my take profit points. Because realistically, that should have been for $3,000. This one should have been, and on evals, you can only have a $3,000 max day. Once you're on the PA, that's not the case. This is eval. That should have been $3,000. This one would have been $3,000. And that one would have been $3,000. And as you can tell, the account would have been fucking passed, right? I'd be profitable on the month. I'm not. I'm break even at this point. And that's the thing is, well, you have 6 wins, 4 losses. Yes, but my wins would be outweighing my losses, right? My wins, because of my risk to reward, and maybe I've taken 6 wins, 4 losses, 10 trades on a month, right? My wins would be outweighing my losses because when I take losses, I'm just losing that $1,000 to $900, right? When I take wins, my RRs are bigger, so I'm hitting for $1,000, $2,000 to $3,000, outweighing my losses. So I realized this, and my buddy helped me understand this, and that's my issue right now. That's the best issue I could probably fucking have. I'm grateful that that's my issue because it's a quick fix. And going into tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm entering in on minis if I see my setup, and I'm going to execute flawlessly, entering on minis, and my first take profit point, once it gets hit, I will be scaling off. Let's say I'm in for 5 minis or 6 minis. I'm scaling off 1 contract, and that's it, and letting it ride. And I'm to the point now, this is for now, for my future self, to make sure the Mac's not going to die. So this is more for my future self I want to get into. Braylon, I know in a year from now, you're making retarded money. Money you couldn't even fathom, and I know this. I'm not posting this because of my ego and I'd like to talk about myself, but I'm posting this out of humility and understanding that if it doesn't happen, that's okay. I'm fairly confident the next year I'm taking 25 to 30K payouts. In the next year, I have 10 to 15 accounts, and I'm using TradeSync and Rise payments. I've already thought about it. I'm risking $300, $500 per trade, and I'm having insane payout months, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100K. I'm going to get to that point. With Top Step, I was thinking, I was weighing my options, and ideally, I could get to the point where I can get moved to a Top Step Live account, where it takes all of my 5 accounts, it takes all my profits and puts it into it. But personally, I'd rather just have that 30 consecutive winning days, and while it's about to put me onto my live account, request max payouts across all accounts. Top Step allows you to take 5K per account. Max, just pay out myself 25K. And put it all into 10 more accounts, 5 Alpha Futures accounts, 5 My Funded Futures accounts, and keeping a 70% win rate above with an average risk reward of 1-to-2 to 1-to-3. And ideally, from there on, taking 8-10 trades a month, that's ridiculous money. And I'm confident I'm going to get to that point. I'm seriously to the point where I'm like, when I take losses, I text my buddies. I text my trading buddies, and I'm like, I took this, I took a loss, I did this, and this is what I did wrong. I'm accountable, I'm honest. That's huge. A lot of traders aren't accountable with themselves, they're not honest with themselves, and then therefore they never grow, they never get better, and therefore they'll never be profitable. For me, I don't have that issue. I'm honest about what I do. And me telling my buddies what I did, my buddies who are making money, when I tell them, hey, I did this and I did this, it makes me feel like shit because it's like, dude, why the fuck am I doing it? Like, I had an issue of exiting trades early. So I had a trade a while ago. I would take trades where it starts going to my drawdown, and I exited early because I was scared of losing money on the account. And what does it do? It goes all the way back up to my take profit. My buddy bitched me out about it when I told him, and I haven't done it since. I had issues where I put my stop loss not in a good place, and I thought I was putting it in a good place. I told my buddy, and he explained to me why that's not in a good place and why you shouldn't do that. And I haven't done that since. Every time I enter a trade now, my stop loss is in a structured place. for this month, and the month before, and the month before, my stop loss is in a structured place, right? It's going to continue to be that way. And no doubt in my mind, and we'll see. I seriously think October, this account's passed, and then I'm going into the the PA account, the Express account. I'll risk $100, $200, $300 until I have that 30 consecutive winning days, and I'll take a payout. Whether that's a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 payout, I'm taking it. And I'm buying more accounts. I'll get 3 to 4 more accounts. I have accounts, and I'll just risk $300 max. Get to the point where I can take a 5K payout at the end of the month or at the end of 2 months, and then that's 25K. And then take another that payout, get 5 Alpha Futures accounts. Trade sync them, rinse and repeat, copy and paste, take another payout. And then at that point, I'm getting to the point where I can take ridiculous. Alpha Futures is dope because they don't have, their max payout is insane. Where Top Steps is 5K per account. Alpha Futures is a little bit different. In my point of futures, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know Alpha Futures, those are the real cat cows. So, capital cows, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to make this video because it's like, dude, a year ago, 2 years ago when I tried to get into this shit, I had no confidence whatsoever. I remember sitting up in my living room and I had TJR's boot camp on the TV and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to learn this stuff. And I remember I would watch the breaker structure video and I'd watch it over and over and over and I couldn't understand it and I fucking gave up in 2 weeks it was, I believe. And I tried starting another business, failed. Tried starting another business, failed. That's the thing, I've had 4 businesses. I'm not going to go into all of them. 4 businesses, they've all failed. I keep going. And a year ago, I met my buddy Zach. I met my buddy Josh. And Josh and Zach have been the biggest help for me, especially Josh. Because he kind of showed me that, like, damn, because I put in my mind, once I couldn't understand trading, I was like, no way people actually make money from this. They're scamming. And I met Josh, and Josh proved to me that, like, no, he's making money. People actually do this. And it hit me. I'm like, why can't I do this? I'm like, and trading became a last resort for me because I bet on the fact that I was going to make money online. And it was like, it has to work over time. And I tried learning the strategy for 4 months and I didn't understand it completely until probably around the middle of summer around the middle of summer. And for 4 months, I just would take the stupidest fucking trades. I'd signal bot other traders, just like wait for Bonka, shout out Bonka. I'd wait for Bonka to enter in on the trade and I'd just fucking copy and paste, enter in on the same trade. I'd do it to my buddy Josh too. And then once Josh started doing his own thing, I had to it really came down to me and I was like, fuck, I have to really learn on my own. And that changed everything for me because I had to hold myself accountable and take stupid ass trades and understand why I took that stupid ass trade. And I got to the point where I was fucking unprofitable as fuck. I wasn't winning trades. And then I remember I was focusing on money. So I was having greed. I was having FOMO. And I remember on my 50K funded, I was like, okay, fuck this. I'm just going to do super, super light risk. On a 50K funded, I was risking $50 fucking per trade. And I had buddies tell me, like, why are you doing that? That's stupid. But what it helped me realize is to not focus on the money. Because I could hit a 1 to 2, 1 to 3. It's worth nothing. $100 to $150. It's worth nothing. I could hit these trades, and with the profit being worth nothing, really, it was me more focusing on predicting price, becoming good at that. And when I did that, I ended up going on like a 2 to 3 week win streak. And even when I wouldn't take trades and I would just mark it up on paper trading, it would hit. And I had like a month of just like an 80% win rate, and I was like, holy fuck, right? And at that point, I took that 50K funded account, risking $50 to $100 per trade, to like, I think it was $100 away from passing. And I immediately went over and I was like, okay, I can do this on a 100K account with more leverage. And I went into the 100K and I had a couple issues starting off. I've documented this, and now it's gotten to the point where, looking at this month, obviously, I'm going to plug in my MacBook. Coming into this month, I look at it. All right, we're good. Coming into this month, I look at my P&L, and it's like, I'm 6 wins, 4 losses. But if I figured out my contracting and scaling off correctly, I'd be up big on this month. Like, I'd be up 3-4 bands on this month. Maybe more. I mean, I can't really calculate all of it. Let me actually calculate this. Obviously, it's going to be a rough estimate, but 400 we'll do. That day was that'd be 7 bands on the month. 7 bands on the month, a round estimate, rough estimate. 5, 6, 7. It would have been around. Hey, it would have been around. And that's if I figured out my contracts, right? Well, going into tomorrow, I'm going to have that figured out. And I'm a visual learner, so my buddy explained to me over text, but I'm going to have to practice it on the market more and more. And that's another thing, too, is going into a lot of things in life, I'm a visual learner. So it was harder for me to, when people explain something to me, it was harder for me to grasp. I'd have to do it on my own. And trading has helped me so much in confidence, I would say. And just like being on my own with this, like I started off with help and a mentor and support, and he would teach me how this shit works. But until I started actually doing it on my own and making my own mistakes and having to actually learn from it on my own, is when I actually saw the progress. And I can't even explain, like, I'm break even, yes, and that sucks. But I know that most traders, I can ask the ChatGPT. Hold on. How many traders give up before they hit the break even stage? I'm going to ask ChatGPT. So, in short, roughly 80 to 90% of new future traders, and I trade futures, give up before hitting break even. The ones who survive are usually those who risk small, journal and review trades, stick to a proven edge, and treat it like a business instead of a lottery ticket. How close am I to profitability if I'm at my break even stage? If you're consistently at the break even stage in futures, you're actually way closer to profitability than most people realize. What it means: break even means you already have an edge, you're not consistently losing. You're covering commissions, fees, and slippage, which already puts you ahead of the majority of traders who can't. The difference between break even and profitable is usually small refinements, and like I said, it's a refinement system and understanding my refinement system between my psychology and my strategy. And it's the difference between break even and profitable is usually small refinements, not entirely a new system. How close you are. You might only need a 1 to 3% improvement in execution, discipline, or risk management to go from flat to positive expectancy. Holy shit, I can trade, but I can't fucking speak. So for me, like I said, with the risk management, is one of my biggest issue right now is the contracts and scaling off contracts. That will be figured out. Boom, we're fucking a step closer. And then it's just going into the execution, improving that, and the discipline. Many traders at break even are just a few tweaks away, things like cutting losses faster, letting winners run, and reducing overtrading or eliminating one bad habit. Example, revenge trading. Statistically, if you've survived long enough to hit break even consistently, you're already in the top 10 to 15% of traders. The key shift: at break even, the game becomes consistency plus compounding small edges. If you tighten risk, reduce mistakes, and stay patient, profits usually follow. In short, if you're truly break even, not just on a lucky streak, which I don't think I am, then that's me being humble and having humility. You're probably one small adjustment away from being sustainably profitable. I want you to understand that. And that, like, this is for my future self I'm talking to. Like I said, this YouTube is not for fucking people to watch. Watch TJR. Watch ICT. I'm not them. I'm not going to be able to explain it as good as them, right? That's why I don't have a video on breaker structures, liquidity sweeps, and order blocks. I don't have those videos. I just go through my journaling because this is for me and my future self. But Look back on these videos. I can't wait to, in a year and 2 and 3 years, to look back on these videos and see how far I've come. And I get emotional even think about it. I was emotional today because it's like I'm at that break even stage where when I enter my trades and I hit these wins, it's like it doesn't feel like it was lucky. It feels like I knew what the market was doing. And when I take my losses, if it was just part of the probability, I'm not mad. I could enter in a trade tomorrow, and if it was in my A plus setup, I don't give a fuck if it loses. I don't care. I'm happy because I love what I do and I love my strategy. I love my strategy. It's so simple for me to understand. In some ways, yes, I need some tweaks. In some ways, yes, I could get more experience with it, and that comes with time. That comes with market experience. See, you can teach strategy, you can't teach psychology and intuition. And I know that it's just a matter of time before I'm actually fucking rinsing these accounts. And I know in a year from now, I'm going to look back on this and I'm just going to see how far I've come from it and be like, wow, I fucking did it. I really fucking did it. Everything that I said I was going to do, I did. I started right there. Everything that I said I was going to do, I fucking did it. And I know as soon as I hit that first payout, I'm going to cry. I can't even keep it a buck. I can say I'm going to be a man about it. I'm going to cry. As soon as I hit that first 5, 10K payout, I'm going to cry. Because it's like, dude, I've put so much time into this. I've put so much effort into this. And it's like, trading makes me happier than anything, but it's also mentally fucking broken me down. And it's made me question myself and the things I do in life and the habits I have outside of trading in the charts. And that's why I love this shit, because it's not even just about money. TJR talks about this. It's a self-improvement journey. It's all about self-improvement. You will not succeed in these markets if you have shit habits outside of them. You won't. And my biggest point is all I have to do from now, and this is for my future self, all I have to do now is trade in the zone, like Mark Douglas says. Execute on my A plus setups. Wait for my A plus setups. Have patience for my A plus setups to show themselves. Execute on them flawlessly. Be smart with my partials and taking out accordingly. And not being afraid to take losses. If I'm taking a truly A plus setup, I should not have no care in the world about the outcome, because I know I'm leaving it all to fate. I'm leaving it all to probability. I'm putting my faith and trust in God that my probability will play out. And you might be like, that sounds stupid as fuck. It's how this shit works. Is it's probability. I mean, if you have consistently over a year a 70% win rate, you could open up a month. Let's say a year from now I have a 70% win rate with a 1 to 3 RR. I could open up the month of, let's say, October in a year from now with 3 straight losses. I wouldn't, if they were truly A plus setups, I'm going to continually take A plus setups after that. I know that I'm going to be profitable. Maybe not that month, but at the end of the year I will be. And that's how I feel about this. I'm so utterly confident in my skill and my strategy that nobody can tell me different. Nobody can tell me, oh, you don't know what you're doing. I know what the market's doing. And not every time, but it's just keeping it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Wait, get into the market, have patience, wait for my edge. Maybe the first 5 days of the month, my edge does not show up. Just know it will. It will. And when it does, I execute flawlessly. And I'm smart with my risk management. I'm smart with my psychology. And I'm treated like a robot. Like, it's kind of fun still. It's like a game. But I'm trying to get it to the point where it's boring. I get into the market. I wait to see my setup. And when it shows, I execute. I journal it. And then I don't think about trading the rest of the day. That's the goal. Anything you hear people talk about, oh, it's anything but trading. That's what it is. That's how you actually make it in this shit. Once you understand how it is, you don't, like, that's the one thing that was so hard for me to realize is, like in the gym, the more input you put in, the more output you're going to get. With trading, it's the exact opposite. The more work I put into this, it doesn't mean the better I'm going to get. Now, obviously, the more work I put into understanding my strategy, then yeah, I'll get better at understanding that. But my psychology, that comes with everything outside of the charts. If I'm not disciplined, if my room is constantly dirty, if my car is constantly dirty, my room is constantly dirty, I have these shit habits, I'm going to get into the market and have shit fucking habits. And it's just important to notice that and understand that, and just being disciplined outside of the charts. And that's my goal. For now, literally, it's just making sure I'm taking smart trades. Wake up, do my little morning routine. Simple. It's cold shower. It's away from the phone for the first 30 minutes, cold shower. Maybe read Proverbs from the Bible. Maybe read something else. Distract myself with not just watching content. Get my morning coffee and get on the charts and wait for my edge to show. Execute on it. Journal it. Win or lose, journal it. And then go into the next day. Forget about it. And like after I journal it, then it's going to the gym. Then it's going to work. And it's just making sure my mental is right. Because if my mental's fucked up, my trading's going to be fucked up. I don't know. It's coming soon. I mean, I don't even doubt that in the next month, I don't doubt that I'm eligible for a payout. In the next 2 months, I don't doubt that I'm eligible for a payout. Maybe this month of October, it's not a big payout, but it's going to be a payout nonetheless. In the next 3 months, I don't doubt that I'm eligible for a payout. And then in the next 4 or 5 months, I don't doubt that I'm eligible for my first 10K payout. I don't. I have so much confidence in it. And I have the most confidence in it that I post these videos and people might watch this shit. And if it doesn't happen, I look like a joke. I look like an idiot. I don't care. Ego is the enemy. There's a book by Ryan Holiday and he talks about how ego is the enemy. And it's such a great read. It's basically going into stoicism. But I'm humble. I have humility and I understand that at the end of the day, losses are a part of the game and that's how I'm going to learn. And I can't put in, it's another thing I've done with trading, getting into it, I put a time limit on when I need to make money. If you do that, you're going to start being greedy, FOMO and all this shit. It can't be about money at all. And my advice to other traders would be, is to start out once you're on the eval. Let's say you were profitable on paper for a while. Go into the eval and just risk $50. 100K account, get a 100K or 50K account. I say 50K account, risk $50 and try to pass it in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. You won't give a fuck about the money anymore and you'll just focus on the price. If you do that, either activate that account or cancel that shit, get a 100K, do dynamic risking because you know what you're fucking doing and go, or just start risking more. Go into 100K, risk $1,000, shoot for your average, your 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, whatever type of trader you are. And treat it, be a robot. You literally have to treat the shit like a job. I've called my girlfriend while trading. In the days I've called my girlfriend while I'm trading, I've gotten fucked in the markets. I like to sit here and be zoned in. Maybe I talk to my buddies who are trading and we trade at the same time. We're not signal botting each other. We're talking about what price is doing. We're treating it like it's a fucking business because it is. You have to treat it like it's a job and a profession. And that's the thing with this business model. Nobody's going to make it work except you. So you need to make sure that you're fucking giving it your all and you're treating it like a job. You're being serious about it. Because if you treat it like it's just some fucking game and gambling, you're going to get fucked. You're not going to make it in this. You maybe get your first payout. That shit's luck. Do it again. Do it again. You fucking won't. I just have so much confidence in myself that I speak this into existence and I know that over time I will be making money from this. I know I will. I know it. Nothing's going to stop me. I mean, and the day I do, I'm not going to gloat. I'm not going to be fucking super cocky about it. It's just going to add a level of confidence in my life that I've never had. And I know that once I do that, I can do anything and I will do so much more. I'm not going to talk about the goals I have in life. I'm not going to talk about the things I want in life and the things I want to do because that's more about me and myself and dealing with that. But I just want to focus on the process. You know, so many people focus on the end result and really the goal of all this is the journey. Because I know in a year from now, when I'm making money, yeah, I'll feel good, but I'll look back on when I was unprofitable and when I was at my break-even stage and be like, wow. What a fucking time. What a journey it was. Losing all that fucking money before I even made my first fucking dime. And now I've made it. And I'm not going to say the money's going to change me. It fucking won't. I don't plan on it changing me. I'm going to still be humble. And I don't want people to confuse my confidence with cockiness because that will never be the case. But I mean, it might come off as cocky because it's like, dude, if I can do this. I mean, literally look it up. I think they say 95% of traders fail. I think it's more like 90, 98, 97 around there. Percent of traders fail. Now, if I can get 2 payouts, I'm in that 1%. Even if the payout's small as fuck, even if my first two payouts are only like $5,000, I'm in the 1%. And that gives me confidence to do fucking anything. Anything. And I know I could. I have all these other business models, all these other plans I want to do. The only thing I need is money. The only thing I need is extra income. So like my payouts are going to go into more accounts, and then those payouts are going to go into investments, stocks, commodities, or other business models, right? I just know that my time is coming soon, and nothing's going to stop me. I know nothing can fucking stop me now. My time is coming. And in a year from now, dude, you know how hard you fucking worked for this. You know all the fucking time and the effort that you put into this, and all the nights that you fucking questioned if it was going to work. I mean, all the nights that you stayed up late as fuck, just questioning what you're fucking doing, questioning everything, starting to believe the things that people told you, like it won't work, it's not for you, you can't do that, and almost believing them. Just know I'm proud of you. I'm fucking proud of you. Because you didn't quit. I'm not a fucking quitter. And I know you're going to be, like I said, looking back on this in a year from now, I just want to say thank you for all the fucking work that you put into yourself. Thank you for the relentless effort, day in and day out. And yeah, there's days maybe where you're not perfect, where you could have put in more effort. That's okay. You're not perfect. It's just about refining that and getting better with that. But, I mean, like I said, dude, if I could go into I have screenshots from when I first started this shit on my first 50K, when I first started trading alone, and I blew 3 accounts. I took fucking loss after loss after loss after loss after loss, win, loss, 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 win, loss, 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 win, loss, 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 win. And I didn't give up because I knew that this was my last resort. I told people. A lot of people say don't tell people you're going to trade. I agree with that, and in a way I don't, because it's like that. It's like once you tell that shit, you have to fucking make it. The only issue is it's like then you have psychology issues and all that once you tell people yes. And I've definitely had those. I've definitely dealt with that, and I still somewhat deal with that. But I mean, dude, big things are fucking coming for me in my career and what I'm doing. Big fucking things. I mean, I have the utmost confidence in myself and what I'm going to do with this and how far I'm going to take it. And like I said, I have no doubt in the next year, 2 years, I have 15 accounts with TradeSync, and I'm risking $500 to $1,000. It depends on the dynamic risking. Super A plus setups, I'll be risking $1,000. A plus setups that I still like, I'll risk $500, right? And there's no doubt in my mind that I'm rinsing these guys for fucking 6-figure payouts. Easily. There's no doubt in my mind in the next 2 years. And that's just from trading. I mean, I have all these other models I want to fucking do. And I will. And I guess I don't really know what else to say to it. I guess I'd leave it at that. I mean, the effort I've put into this shit is fucking ridiculous. I mean, you should see the fucking notebook I have. I mean, notebooks. I mean, I have fucking 2 notebooks fucking full of notes just going into it, and I still look at them on the daily when I'm trading. I don't look at every page, but I have pages I like to look at to remind myself of what I'm doing and what I need to see. But just know that if I had a final message to tell my future self, is just know I'm proud of you and the work that you put in. And all this is going to play out. It's going to be worth it, and I fucking know it. All of it will be worth it. And it's not to prove everyone else wrong, it's to prove yourself right and have the confidence and to use that going into everything else in life. Because, dude, you're the fucking man. You're the fucking man, you know that? You can fucking do anything. You can do this, you can do fucking anything. If you can produce something that only 1% of people actually succeed in, you can fucking do anything. You're one of one, motherfucker. Have pride in that, but be humble. Be confident with that. I mean, yeah, I guess that's really it. There's really nothing else to say. It's going to happen. Sooner or later, everything's going to fucking click. No doubt in my mind. Everything's going to fucking clip, and I can't put a time limit on it, but I know that my time is a lot. My time to make 10K, 15, 20K months is a lot sooner than what it was 2 years ago. I mean, I got into the idea of internet money my fucking senior year, and this is the closest I've ever been to it, and I still haven't given up. And I'm literally right on the edge. At least I remember what ChatGPT said. I'm right on the fucking edge to that. Right on the edge. It's a snowball effect. I'm fucking getting closer and closer to the top of that hill, pushing that ball, and I keep falling back down, and then I'm pushing back up. I'm getting higher each and every time. It's like Thomas the Train. He just keeps going. And then once I hit that first payout, I just know we're at the top of it, and it's just down from there. Or you could say up from there. It's all going to be worth it. I mean, and I've had family, dude. It's not only friends that have told me this wasn't going to work. I've had family that's told me, like, you're wasting your time. This isn't going to work. And I just want to show my appreciation to my buddy Josh, because, I mean, he really, really, if it wasn't for him, I would have given up on this and think it wasn't real and think it's not possible. But I've gone too far into this to fucking give up. I've put too much time into this. I've literally wasted a fucking year of my life. I can't give up on this shit. There's no point in giving up. Like, it's just going to come. And I know it. But yeah, everything changes from now. Everything changes. Yeah. Just looking at everything. I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna leave it at that. Just like I said, my message to my future self, congratulations, because I know you fucking made it. I know you're profitable. I know you're sitting on that rooftop with the beautiful fucking city view. I know you're fucking, just take that deep breath and enjoy it. Oh my gosh, yeah. Alright, I'm heading out. This is the trade recap for Tuesday, September 30th, 9:19 p.m. currently. And we're done. Peace out.